Maybe not? Coffeeed up? Excellent. All right, so I live in New York City, and I normally talk and speak and walk very, very quickly, but I've been instructed many times to slow it down for the presentation, so I'll do my best to pace things a little more apropos. I appreciate the opportunity to be here at ICA Congress. It's been a pleasure moderating some of the panels up here, and now I want to spend the next roughly 15 minutes to go over sort of a big picture look at what I see us facing when it comes to digital and the next generation of consumers. On a daily basis, my full-time gig is I run a full-service digital marketing and advertising agency in New York, and a grand portion of our business is in the jewelry industry. So we work with retailers, with manufacturers, we work with gem dealers just like yourselves. And over the course of the years, what we're seeing is this giant divide between where businesses are at right now and where the customer is currently today and where it needs to go and where the customer is going to be in the future. So as we're preparing for this, as we're looking through these things, today I'm going to go over quickly 6 different areas that I think we need to focus on when it comes to preparing and moving our businesses where we're at today into the future, closer to where the consumers are. Everybody sound good with that? And what I'd like to do is even, at the end, hopefully leave a few minutes and answer a couple questions if people have questions. Does that sound good? Because I feel like nobody's been able to ask some questions so far. All right? But I need a little bit more energy. Everybody ready? All right. Okay, so step 1 is the evolving mindset. We have to change our mindset before we can change our skill sets, before we can change our outputs and our success. Everybody on board with that? And that's great because that's the reason why you're here today and why you've been here and why many of you have flown here is to change and evolve your mindsets around business today. So what does that look like? The first thing to evolve your mindset is focusing on that growth and the future. Most of us spend the majority of our time, every single day, focusing on the things that currently run our business. In fact, one would say that we've been sort of romantic about how we make our money. And instead, how many of you spend at least 30 minutes a day, right? Just 30 minutes a day, focusing on something new in the business, focusing on learning something new, whether it's something on digital, focusing on something that's new in the industry or new technologies, right? By a show of hands, how many spend at least 30 minutes a day looking at something like that? So that's the first thing. If everyone took away just one thing from the presentation, it would be spend 30 minutes a day learning about something new in the industry, learning about something new in the technology space, learning about something new in the marketing and advertising space. It costs you nothing, and it helps you be relevant to the business and the consumers of today and tomorrow. Can everybody do that? Excellent. The second thing is embrace the mess and disruption of change, right? So change is messy. Evolution is messy. Business transition is messy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. If running a business today was easy, everyone would do it. But I feel like most of the time, just like working out or dieting or eating healthy, right? We avoid the things that cause us the friction or cause us the mess or cause us the disruption instead of embracing it and really diving into the messy things to sort them out appropriately. As you dive into digital, as you dive into social, as you dive into more branding and marketing and advertising, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be clean. It's going to be messy at best. So what I'm telling you now is expect it 1 and embrace it 2. If you expect it, it's a lot easier to embrace it when it happens. So expect it to be a little messy. Expect there to be some friction and some rubs, but then work your way through it, right? You all should be familiar with the concept because it's similar to mining and the products that you're doing now. How many parts do you have to go away for every part that's actually worth it for you, right? Sean did an excellent representation of that with Jim Field. So embrace the mess, embrace the craziness and chaos, and dig your way through it because you will find the gold and quite literally the business that comes from doing it. Number 2, after we focus on the evolving mindset, the second thing we need to do is create experience. That's something that almost every single person has said, and you can't go to a presentation about marketing, advertising, millennials, Gen Z, any type of consumer-focused thing without focusing or hearing someone talk about creating an experience. But what does that mean, right? By experience, what I'm talking about is how are you really impacting someone's emotions and their feelings? How do you make someone feel, right? The great saying is people always forget what you say, but always remember how you made them feel, right? So what are you doing to make your customers and the end consumer feel something different? Feel some sort of emotive connection to your product. And whether that's B2B or B2C, we're all humans, right? We're all selling to humans. So if we cannot affect the emotional impact of our business to someone else, then we have no chance of affecting the financial impact, right? So the first thing that we have to do is focus on what is your brand and business doing to impact the emotions and feelings of your customer. The next thing is evolve your vision of what luxury and lifestyle look like, right? The customers of today that have the money to buy are not necessarily walking in suits and ties. They're probably walking in $3,000 sneakers, some $350 ripped jeans, and a t-shirt, a black t-shirt from Theory that costs $150, right? And they're walking in and they have the capability to buy and purchase and spend their money. Now they're spending their money on a variety of different things, but we have to make sure that we're relevant. We'll talk about relevancy here in a second to the consumer. You have to understand who your consumer is today, what they represent when it comes to luxury, what their new lifestyle of luxury is, and what they want access to. They want access to the tangibility of your product. They want to understand the background behind your product. Most of them probably want to know more things like Robbie was talking about yesterday and the science behind Tanzanite than you would think. Most of our consumers today, when it comes to the millennials and the Gen Z segment, are researchers. They're on their phone, right? They're Googling everything. They want to find out everything. That's why their BS meters are so high. They understand when someone is just saying something that's a marketing message and the brand is not backing it up. So it's important as a business to understand what that lifestyle of today's consumers really are and how luxury looks to them. Luxury is access to information. Luxury is knowledge. Luxury is insights and intelligence. So if we're not delivering that behind our products, then we're not really living up to a luxury brand. Right? It's not just about high price and high quality and high service anymore. It's many more things behind that. The next thing is we have to surpass expectations every single time. We have to beat ourselves. I tell my company every single day that the person that needs to beat us is us. Right? We have to evolve our business and continually surpass our own expectations in order to surpass the customer's expectations. So what does that look like? Right? It's not business as usual. How many of you have some sort of strategic plan or some sort of strategic marketing plan by show of hands for your company? All right, so if we need this by next Congress, this is something easy that everybody can focus on, right? Set an expectation for your business. Set an expectation for your marketing. Set an expectation for what you're looking forward to grow your business. If you don't set that bar, there's no way you're ever going to live up to it, let alone surpass it. So the first thing I would do when I get back is look at, from a marketing and a branding and a messaging perspective, when we want to evolve our business forward from a communications perspective, how do we want to measure that? What does that look like strategically? What does that look like from our own expectations in order for us to meet that and then surpass it? Step 3, so we talked about evolving our mindset, we talked about creating experiences. The third part here, which is where most people start in a digital marketing and communications presentation, is the communications part. But if we don't understand the first two pieces, then the third piece, the communications, don't even really matter. So we live in a mobile-first mindset. Everybody knows this, right? And everybody talks about the millennial segment, right? But most people in here are either responsible for a millennial, for creating a millennial, or starting to think and act like a millennial. How many of you send emails from your phone? How many of you send text messages from your phones? Or use chat apps from your phones? How many of you have ever sent an emoji from your phones? Right? These are all, many of you in here, like multi-million dollar companies that have probably sent pictures of emojis with people crying, laughing, smiling, maybe a fist pump, or some of you even a picture of the poop emoji of people. It happens, right? So these are all executives, yet we all act like millennials in some way, shape, or form. So if we don't think with that mobile-first mindset, there's no way that we can engage with the future consumer. And when I say future consumer, I'm talking about the consumer of today. So what does mobile-first mean? It means a website that is designed for mobile, not just works on mobile. It's communications in a mobile-friendly format, so emails that look great when read on a mobile device, right? Using text messaging campaigns, using social media, using things that are applicable to the mobile consumption of media today. So that goes across your entire business, not just on Facebook and Instagram. We have to think with a mobile-first mindset. When somebody hits your website on mobile, how long do they give you to find what they're looking for? Roughly 3 to 5 seconds is what you have to capture someone's attention on your website from a mobile device. 3 to 5 seconds. That's this long. Gone. So in that case, if your site is crazy and hectic and you don't know where to find things, there's no chance you're going to captivate that consumer or that customer, whether it's B2B, B2C, or whatever it may be. You have to think with that mobile-first mindset. The other thing is the future of voice, right? Voice is here, voice search, voice to text, all of these things are prevalent and not going anywhere. And when you think about it from a marketing perspective, marketing to someone from an advertising and intercepting them when they're talking to Alexa is way different than what they're typing for when they're searching on Google on their phone or on their computer, right? So voice is something you need to be aware of coming down the pipeline. And the other thing is the intersection of personalization and automation, right? In a world where we're trying to automate everything, there's a great importance and a great preference placed on personalization. So in your communications, in your marketing, yes, focus on automation, but also focus on personalization. And the worst thing that you can possibly receive, and we've all at least received one, is horribly done personalization. The automated email that ends up saying insert name instead of your actual name, or it's your name and your last name with no space, or whatever that may be. So focus on personalization, right? Focus on automation, but it has to be personal. It has to be individualized. The biggest thing today that we see with businesses are big brands trying to act smaller and small brands having a much bigger impact than they've ever had before because of the media platforms available today. The other thing is real-time testing of marketing and advertising. It's crucial that we have opportunities to test in the market. In my research days, people would spend $40,000 to $100,000 on a research project testing an ad. Today, we spend $20 a day per 20, 30, 40 different versions of an ad running on Facebook and Instagram, 72 hours later turning it off and going with the one that works the best. And we're on the horizon of mixed reality, right? It is something that is coming down the pipeline to where people will plug in for hours upon hours in a headset in virtual reality, and then also integrating with reality in real life. So there's an interesting thing coming down the pipeline with what Oculus is doing and all of that. It's something to read up on a pretty daily basis. The next thing, number 4, trust and transparency. Trust, transparency, and security are going to be top of mind of every consumer out there, not just the next generation, right? Because so much is put out there, privacy has become a value proposition. What am I willing to give you versus what do I get in return, right? Your trust, transparency, and security doesn't only come from marketing and advertising. It doesn't only come from things like blockchain and responsible sourcing. It's every aspect of the web. What information are you willing to give a consumer, and what information is the consumer willing to give you, right? You have to think about exchange and privacy as a value proposition. And consistency is equal to quality. Consumers view consistency as a metric of quality today, right? It's not just price, it's not just high quality goods and materials. It's how consistent is your brand over every aspect and every touch point that they have with it, right? Whether you're a restaurant, whether you're a gym dealer, whether you're a retailer or a designer. A consumer measures your quality based on the consistency of your message and your business interactions with them. 5th is relevance. Relevance is something that's extremely important, and what I mean by that is relevance in the digital space first is time. How speedy can you actually get to consumption? How close to the point of consumption can you deliver a message to a consumer? Procter & Gamble used to have this thing called the moment of truth. The moment that a consumer is exposed to the brand and then is impacted by that brand then on in terms of their purchase decision. Google in 2011, I think, recoined it as zero moment of truth. The moment when somebody's exposed online to a brand. Well, now, as marketers and advertisers, we are marketing in that moment of truth. We're selling in that moment of truth. That the first time that someone's exposed to your brand online, they actually have the opportunity to buy online with your brand. So the way in which we market and advertise to consumers is different when we're marketing in the moment instead of for the moment. And then digital discovery. The age of search. Who here wants to actually search for anything? Right? We use search as a last-ditch effort to find a solution. Today, everything is about discovery, and it's no different for marketing and advertising. Consumers are discovering things long before they're ever searching for something. That's why Instagram is such a powerful platform. It's for the discovery and exploration portions of it. So if you're not creating content that allows you to be discovered, you have no chance of closing that consumer. And then identity. When it comes to identity, it's really important to have your own identity. It's really, and we live in the world where we sell a product that is unique. We sell a product that has its own unique identity. So it should be very easy for us to do that. We just need to actually communicate that identity to the consumers. And then finally is execution. The last thing is this, is that momentum starts with motion. If we don't take at least one step forward every single day, there's no way that your business is going to catch the momentum that you want it to have when it comes to marketing and digital and advertising. So my challenge to you is that over the next 12 months between now and the next Congress, is that you've done something to move your business forward in the digital space. And I believe that's it. I'm not sure if we have time for one question or not. Okay, we have time for one question if somebody wants to ask a question. That's where you can stalk me online. You can find me on Instagram at Benjamin Smithy, and you can also see my email address down there. Does anyone have a question before we kick it over?
Go back one slide.
Go back one slide. There you go. Excellent. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all very much.